Oh, you know what time it is, late nighters. It's 11:30 p.m. It's time to mess around with this squeaky chair some more and watch the Better Late Show with your friendly local neighborhood Dr.Ben. That's me. Tonight, late nighters, we are gonna cover shit out of here. We are gonna cover this old comic book from 1993. Not this one, which is from maybe the year before. I don't know. We're not covering this. Oh, this one's from 5 years before. This one's from 1988. And this one is from even earlier. This one is from, what year is this from? 1973 for the Black Orchid. Whew. I guess maybe I should have had these covered up. I could have been like throwing y'all for a loop. You know, been like, we're not looking at this one and we're not looking at this one. We're looking at, but you know what I'm saying? That's not how I do things. You know, how I like to go. I like to go by the seat of my pants, you know. So, the Black Orchid, just for a little backstory, we're gonna look at this issue number 1 of the Black Orchid from 1993 from DC's Vertigo line. Does that get the top of it? I guess it doesn't really matter. Written by Dick Foreman, art by Jill Thompson and Stan Woch, or Watch. I think it's Woch. So, give you an idea of who the Black Orchid is. Apparently the Black Orchid was a character in the 70s, maybe even the 60s. It was like a lady fighting crime and stuff. I don't know. I don't think I've read this. I found this issue. This is the only issue I've ever found of the old 70s Black Orchid series. And I have no idea what any of it's about. She fights crime on a boat in this issue. It's cool, but no idea about it other than that. 1988, we had this Black Orchid. There's a 3-issue series written by Neil Gaiman and with art by Dave McKean. And it's got a quote from The Rubaiyat by Omar Khayyam. I don't know how to... Okay, anyways. In this must have been one of the first collaborations between Dave McKean and Gaiman. Neil Gaiman, not Gaiman. It's so silly. I had somebody literally screaming at me because I was talking about the writer Neil here, and I said I'm never quite sure how you say. Is it Gaiman? Is it Gaiman? And they were like screaming at me, "It's Gaiman! It's pronounced Gaiman!" And I was like, oh, okay, chill out. Chill the F out. It's Gaiman! Okay, whatever you say, dude. So the Black Orchid in this series, this is really what established the character in here. You see she's got like this look to her, an entirely different look than this 70s, you know, spandex and fruity fly loops here that she's flying with. You know, like I think in this, it has a thing. So we're having a little Black Orchid history lesson. I was like, what we're having. Says she appears where there is evil and is gone in a twinkling once it has been conquered. No one knows who she is or from whence she acquired her extraordinary powers. She has the strength of a regiment, flies through the air like a bird of prey, and has the beauty and compassion of a young girl. Many have tried to guess her secrets, but all have failed. Tonight, one man, an evil man, will believe he has unraveled her strange mystique, and before midnight he will issue his fateful challenge to the Black Orchid. Like I said, we're not covering this one. Maybe we will. If you guys want me to cover this one, you know, let me know. Like I said, I don't think I've read it. I just got it because, like I said, I've never seen one of these old issues of the 70s Black Orchid before. And it looks cool. Is Tony Duzuniga? Tony Duzuniga. I don't know how you say that last name. Duzuniga, you know. I'm gonna stop trying to say it. Okay. Cool artwork, you know. But like I said, that's not what we're covering. We're not covering this other one from Neil Gaiman and McKean. Though this did, like I said, kind of introduce the whole concept. Oh, and it even started with the old character of the Black Orchid in here. This old, with her little collar and her purple suit and whatnot. When here we learn that she's this, came from like a greenhouse or something. She's some sort of like a plant elemental, kind of like Swamp Thing. And in fact, she guest starred in some Swamp Thing issues around the time of this other series. But she's like we see like she's born, and there's a few of them, a few Black Orchids that are all being created somehow in some sort of weird, I think actually this she's connected almost like to Lex Luthor or something. Like Lex Luthor was the one creating the Black Orchids. But I just, the way that she's drawn, you know, with this hair flying up in there, and this white, you son of a gun. Dana? Leave me alone, Dana. Dana from StreamYard. She wants me to go back to using StreamYard instead of just pre-recording these videos. And you know what, StreamYard? You and YouTube, you got to get together better. Because anytime I do a live stream, it doesn't promote it. But if I do a pre-recorded video, it promotes it. So this is what the Black Orchid looks like in here. She's like, it's not a purple suit, that's just her skin. She's like a tuber, a living tuber or something. Got this white thing going over her eyes. It's just like that's like her body. You know what I mean? It's not a mask. It's not spandex. She's got her hair is always flying up like that. But in the story, we find out, it starts off, you know, these police are, they're chasing this, or they see this lady, they ask if she needs some help, and she starts running, and they're chasing her, and before she gets away, they see that she's not that same lady anymore, and now she's the Black Orchid. And it turns out she has some sort of like pheromone powers, which is like pheromones is like smell. So that she can make people smell stuff and it affects their memory, which that's something I've always heard, is that your different memories, the sense of smell is like the greatest trigger for memories. You smell something and that will remind you, that is the greatest thing to remind you of something. So I don't know if that's true or not, but pheromones, it's a concept I've always heard about, that someone could alter and manipulate scents and things to do different things. And that's what it's talking about here. It says, we found her. Yeah, we found her, except it wasn't her anymore. It was what she'd become. No, let me make sure I get this in there right. No, I can't describe how she looked. I mean, I can still see her in my mind's eye. I can still remember her. Hell, I can even recollect the scent of her. But I can't put it into words. It's like there's a block in my mind, and as soon as I try to put words to what I saw, they just go, you know? All I know is I never saw her again. So already, you know, this is the 3rd page, and it's already introducing like these ideas about her being able to manipulate memories and affect people's perceptions of her. And that's what this first issue does. And again, I want to shout out again that this is Jill Thompson doing the pencils and Stan Woch doing the inks. A Digital Chameleon is doing the colors, and Clem Robbins for the letterer. Julie Rottenberg is the assistant editor. Tom Peyer is the editor. Dick Foreman's the writer. And for the cover art, we got Dave McKean, who was the, as we said, the artist throughout this limited series. It's a 3-issue limited series. Was this thing was all, yeah. See, there's an old Swamp Thing there. I don't know how well that's gonna show up though. That's a pretty dark looking. Anyways, he does the covers, and I remember this was one of the comics I remember seeing when it was being advertised back in '93. And I guess if I was fully on top of some sort of game or promotional game or something, I would have had one of those full-page promo ads for this. But I do not. You know how I roll. But I just remember seeing that image, and again, this is not. I guess that comes across okay. I remember seeing that and just being like, man, that is just, it's just beautiful. I want to find out what this is. I didn't know anything about the old series by Neil Gaiman. I didn't know anything about the 70s Black Orchid. So when this came out, I picked it up, you know, as a young teen, and kind of flies in the face of like all the people today saying how, like, you know, comics has always been men and, you know, women have been shut out. No, Jill Thompson. As soon as I saw Jill Thompson's artwork, I was in love with it. You know, like the first time I saw her was Sandman, her issues in the Sandman, and absolutely loved them. And then I saw this after that, her run on Sandman, and I was like, oh man, that Jill Thompson, I need to get that. I remember picking up old issues of her drawing Wonder Woman before her Sandman breakout, and issues of her drawing Fathom. And you know, I've just always enjoyed her art. I think it's fantastic to see how she has evolved. You know, her Scary Godmother comics that she's done, her stories. Beasts of Burden, the series she did with Evan Dorkin, fantastic. You know, a dog, like a Mystery Incorporated or something with dogs, the mystery van, like Scooby-Doo, but just with all dogs. I thought that was brilliant. Dogs solving mysteries and combating evil. So anyways, the rest of this series, this guy is what? I think he's like a reporter or something or other, yeah. And he's recounting all these different stories about people encountering the Black Orchid, right? And it's all these different people explaining how they've met this lady who's different and something's weird about her. And this is another series. I can't remember if I covered this before or not. This Ted McKeever and Peter Milligan, Extremist. That's another. See, all these series were coming out back then, and it was like the foundation of my my taste in comics. You know, Jill Thompson, Ted McKeever, Sam McKeith, seeing different manga. I remember seeing ads for Ranma Half and Ghost in the Shell. We were watching Ghost in the Shell back then, and Akira and everything. It's like the foundation of my my taste and what I like to do with comics. So anyways, rambling again. So this is you know, she's talking about her. This lady's talking about her friend. I think she calls her Blackie, and that is the Black Orchid. Is what we find out. You know, she can manipulate her appearance. The ad for the Batman Grendel thing by Matt Wagner with I never knew it at the time, but this was Joe Matt. Rest in peace, fella. Joe Matt doing the covers for this Batman Grendel book. It's fantastic. See, that's one of the reasons that, that's something you can't really replicate when you have a collection or a graphic novel. All the different little side things that you find, like in a comic, all the different little advertisements for other stories and other issues. So all of this Black Orchid story, we're following with this. It's not really quite a detective. Like I said, he's more like a journalist. And he's talking about following the trail of this character that he doesn't quite know what the deal is. He knows there's something off with her. All these people can't describe her. And he keeps going, he's going through all these different things, trying to discover who this person is. I think it's supposed to be that he works for like a tabloid magazine or something. And here's this account of somebody that was going to shoot a politician, McCarthy, McMurdy, that's what he is. This guy's gonna shoot him, and then at this point she's called Flora Black. He closed in. Cops had him in their sights, but one wrong move and he'd have sprayed McMurdy and God knows how many more. Got a little Uzi pistol or something, machine pistol. Where's all your bullshit now, big boy, huh? And that's when Flora Black stepped out of the crowd, just slow and gentle, inching into his peripheral vision. No one tried to stop her. But when she spoke, it was real soft, but in the silence, you couldn't miss it. You wouldn't speak to your mother. You wouldn't speak like that to your mother, would you? Like I said, I hadn't been feeling too good. At that moment, I felt like I was going to pass out. I guess I must have been hallucinating or something. I couldn't see Flora Black anymore. There was just this she looked different. I can't seem to put it into words. So this is what this guy keeps finding, is that no one can really explain, when the Black Orchid is there, they can't explain what she looks like. She's like a naked purple lady with a white mask and her hair's flying away and she smells like flowers. What? No one can explain that, whether they're embarrassed. No, it's that they can't remember it. They can't put it into words because she's affected their memory is what it is. It was only for a few seconds that I managed to catch my breath and she was Flora Black again. Huh? What did you say? Your mother. She wouldn't like you using that language, would she? Mother? Your darling mother who held you in her arms when you were little and everything was all right. Hey, I didn't mean it, Mom. It's just the way the guys all talk. It's all right. Your mother still loves you. And that's how she did it. I guess just about every paper in the city carried a picture of that moment. I said to her, how did you know what to do with that guy? She just shrugged her shoulders and she said she didn't think about it, she just did it. That was all she'd say. She didn't like the publicity, one little bit. Wouldn't do any interviews. Of course, some of the press guys wouldn't take no for an answer, but somehow, I don't know, she always managed to get rid of them. Well, then something happened. I don't know what, but that air of coolness she had, it seemed to shatter. The last time I saw her, she was tense, nervous, agitated. You could say paranoid, in fact. That someone was out to get her? Yes, she did give that impression. She wouldn't talk about it. I had every intention of asking her, but face to face, well, it was just obviously not a good idea. I personally tried to persuade her not to go. I still think if we'd known that what the problem was, we could have helped her. She was adamant, and I found myself respecting her decision. No means no. This woman is so damn persuasive. How does she do it? Psychology? Charisma? Sex appeal? But it only works face to face. It only works in her presence, this charm of hers. And she learned that after being Layla, she knew it wouldn't work with just her image on camera. Speaking of images, what was it that Mahoney and Hickman saw? And why couldn't they talk about it? Hypnosis? But she was preoccupied. She wouldn't have been aware that Hickman was seeing her. Unless we're talking metahuman here. If it was some kind of power she had. Let's see which costume fit the bill. At least I'd only have to look through the female ones. I should have updated these people change so fast. Hell, what do we have here? And this is where we discover, she's related to this 70s Black Orchid. Moving undercover in a variety of disguises. That's her. Powers, flight, strength, and she's apparently bulletproof. Nothing about persuasiveness. Maybe they just threw in flight, strength, etc. when they don't really know what else to put. This volume is getting out of control on this crazy jazz music here. If for some reason you too want to also listen to copyright-free Coffee House Jazz, the link is in the description below. And as are links to my assorted comic books that I create, my Substack, what else is on there? I don't know what else is on there. There's links to all my stuff if you want to support me. Or, you know what, if you don't want to spend your hard-earned money, then just give me a like, give me a subscribe, tell your friends about these weird reviews I do that don't really review anything and just kind of end up being me rambling about comics. Something about Sarajevo? What? This guy, and yeah, here we go, Lex Luthor. There it is. That's not Lex Luthor there, but they're trying to figure out stuff about her. Look, they have like an AI version of the Black Orchid there. Okay. Vertigo Jam, this is a good issue too. Maybe we should look at that. I don't know where my copy of this is, though. Yeah, he's a journalist. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, so I'll kind of explain this to you. He's searching for her. And somehow he gets, like, an address for her. And these guys have been following him because they're working. Oh, look at that. There's make sure we can get a good view of that. He's got pictures of Cerebus, Dave Sims Cerebus in the background. Indian Summer. Gosh darn it, why am I getting the commercials on this thing? And the other one I didn't have commercials. I'm not helping no refugees. Refugees need to help me. Yeah, so here he is. I feel so weird about this, but I've got to know. I've at least got to know. What will I see if she answers the door? Blackie? Layla? The dapper Ms. Black? Or will I see what Mahoney saw that night 2 years ago? That metahuman presence he could not describe. She'll be surprised, of course, impressed that I found her. Hey, she'll be glad to see me. Won't she? And this is the part that, like, just cemented my love for for Jill Thompson's work here. And it took me until recently getting this comic again. No answer. I try the door handle and a scent reaches out to me. What is it? Freshly washed shirts, my father's pipe tobacco, cheap perfume on a girl I had the hots for when I was just 15, new mown grass, late night campfires, bakeries in the early morning. Where does she buy a scent like that? Where does she buy it? For a few seconds, I seem to forget I have eyes. Then when I focus, there's still no celestial music, but I know that I'm looking at one of the angels. So that's what I'm saying. This image that Jill Thompson did here is just so, I don't know how well it comes across, but I mean, when I first saw this, it took my breath away. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I mean, is like, I couldn't understand back then what had changed. I could tell this was just like so different than all the rest of it. I think it's that she didn't, this panel isn't inked. And it's maybe it looks like she colored it herself, maybe with colored pencils or something. But it's just, it's fantastic. I don't know how to also explain that. Yes, you're the reporter, aren't you? I've heard about you. You'll have led them to me. They want something from me, and it's not theirs to have. You do understand that, don't you? Yes, that's right. I see what you mean. In the drawer there, you will find a gun. Use it on them when they come. You'll do that for me, won't you? I believe it's the way that human beings go about these things. Kill or be killed. I'm sorry. You should not have led them to me. Just dumbfounded. She just floats off. But just that's what I'm saying. These images of her sitting on the window ledge there. It just, you know what I'm saying? That is all these images of her have just stuck in my head forever, you know? A little sniffle. It's kind of chilly. Well, it's winter, so I mean, that's probably why it's chilly. But, Legends of the Dark Knight, number 50. It might, and this is the, so that's the end of the issue, is that next page, you know, him shooting at these LexCorp guys that are coming in the door, trying to find her. And then the series continued on for like 20, 21, 22 more issues. I think I got up to like issue 22 or 23 or so. I have all of them, I think, except for issue 7. Issue 7 is the only one I have not found. They all got these amazing Dave McKean covers. Barktude. I'll read this explanation in the back too. This is one of the things I loved back in the 90s that they would do. I think they kept this going for a while into the OOs as well. This On the Ledge, and would have like a monthly breakdown of whatever was coming out from Vertigo, the Vertigo line that month. So it says Black Orchid number 1. She's part prankster, part demigoddess, and a target for 2 desperate men. A deviant corporate information broker who wants to exploit her powers, and an investigative reporter who wants to dissect her mind. Expanding on the character recreated in the Gaiman-McKean miniseries, Black Orchid is written by Dick Foreman with art by Jill Thompson and Stan Woch. Also available an ethereal Black Orchid retail poster painted by Thompson. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's the first issue. This is one of the books that, you know, like I've always just loved, always enjoyed. Like I said, that image of her when he comes in there is just, like I said, when I saw that, like I was just like, oh my gosh, this Jill Thompson is just. I don't even know how to explain what it is that she's capturing or why it's so perfect. You know what I mean? Like the bricks in the background, the bricks aren't perfect. The lines, the the lines aren't straight. They're colored in, just kind of looks like they're scribbled in. It's so like rough and raw, but it's just so. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just that I'm crazy and pictures affect me and I look at things and like I'm just like blown away by things like that. But like I said, that just cemented my absolute love for Jill Thompson's artwork. And I'm not going to claim that like I've gotten every single thing that Jill Thompson has drawn since then. But anytime I see her name on a book, that's just an automatic buy, Like I said, with that Beasts of Burden series that she came out with, Evan Dorkin writing and her drawing it was just like buying it. I've got to get it, and it doesn't disappoint at all. Where I found a couple issues of The Badger, Mike Barron's schizophrenic. Multiple personality character, a couple issues that are drawn by her. She has this sense to her artwork that is just ethereal or something, like so light and airy, but like I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not really. I don't have all the fancy words that you might pick up like in art school or something. I didn't go to no art school. Well, I did go to art school for like a couple weeks, but then they wanted money. Not about giving those people money. Those people don't need money. So that's probably why maybe that's why people don't give me money. Is that karma? No, karma's not real. So let's as a little bonus here, let's look and see what else was coming out in July of 1993 from DC Vertigo. We've got Black Orchid #1. We've got The Extremist #1 of 4. Like I said, that series by Peter Milligan and Ted McKeever. A Game of You trade paperback. The Sandman collection, issues 32 to 37. I can't remember which ones that is. It says it's blending the evocative issues of gender and identity, reality and fantasy. Features strange and whimsical art by Sean McManus and others. Okay. I can't remember which one that is. I don't know. I've read all the Sandman stuff, but I can't. A lot of it kind of like my eyes kind of gloss over sometimes with that stuff. Jonah Hex, Two Gun Mojo. Remember at the time, I didn't know that Jonah Hex was like a long-time DC character. I thought that was just something that they had created for Vertigo. But no, he was like a long-time DC character, an old West cowboy with it's horribly scarred. This one written by Joe Lansdale, the prominent writer. Written by the prominent writer. Sandman Mystery Theater. That was about, the Golden Age Sandman by Matt Wagner and John Watkiss. Shade, The Changing Man, #39. Peter Milligan, Chris Bacalo. I can't remember how you say his name. See, it's not just foreign names. This Chris Bacalo, whatever, he's a white person. I don't know how to say his name. And, I don't care either, that's just how it is. I try to remember how you pronounce names, but sometimes, the brain isn't always what it's always cracked up to be. Hellblazer, #69. Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. Covers by Glenn Fabry. Those issues, this Hellblazer, are just beautiful. Kid Eternity, #5 by Anna Senti and Sean Phillips. Maybe that's another series I should look up. Is 'cause I've got a bunch of it. There's a couple issues I think I'm missing of Kid Eternity. I might have to look that up. Sandman number 53. This is where I came on. The first issue of Sandman I got was issue 49, which was illustrated by Jill Thompson. Maybe I'll look at that one of these days. And then I remember getting these first issues of Sandman in my first issues of Sandman were that issue 50, and then this first series where it was what was it? A bunch of people in a inn or a hotel or whatever, trapped in a hotel in a winter storm, telling each other stories. So like each issue was just like a story, one story from someone, and then illustrated by different people. You know, it was fun. It was a fun bit. And then the next Sandman thing was when the last story when the kindly ones, Animal Man number 63. Jamie Delano, Stevie Pugh. Skin Graft, The Adventures of a Tattooed Man. Jerry Prosser, Warren Police, Swamp Thing 135. This is when I was getting the Swamp Thing too. This was my first Swamp Things issues that I got. Was these Nancy Collins issues. Scott Eaton and Kim DeMolder. Doom Patrol 70. This is back when this is Doom Patrol issues that I first got too. You know, both of these, Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol, were things that like I had heard about, like how great they were. You know, the Alan Moore Swamp Things and the Grant Morrison Doom Patrols. And then, you know, when I went and picked them up, whatever the current issues were at the newsstand, I was like, well, it's not by either of those guys. You know, Swamp Thing isn't by Alan Moore anymore. Anymore. It's by this Nancy Collins. But it was good. Swamp Thing was good, was fun stuff then too. The Doom Patrol by Rachel Pollack, you know, those are definitely... I like the Rachel Pollack stuff more than the Grant Morrison Doom Patrol. You know, like, because those were the issues I first got at Doom Patrol, and I was just another one that I was just blown away by, especially when that Ted McKeever jumped over onto Doom Patrol. Oh my gosh. Enigma number 7 of 8. Another Peter Milligan was just writing his ass off for Vertigo back then. Peter Milligan and Duncan Fegredo. That's this one. It's another good series. The last one, J.M. DeMatteis and Dan Sweetman. Vertigo events next month. Vertigo Visions, The Phantom Stranger. I covered that on here before by writer Elisa Whitney. Artwork by Guy Davis. You know, that's what a lot of these artists really, like I said, are really what like influenced me. You know, like seeing these different styles, these different kind of like absurdist and surrealist looking styles in comics. Really what I saw that, like, you know, I liked all the Image guys and the mainstream kind of Marvel stuff, but all of it had like a kind of sameness that, you know, Steve Dillon doesn't have, Sean Phillips doesn't have, Duncan Fegredo. Go back to that image of, what is that, Glenn Fabry picture. You know what I mean? That is just a beautiful, beautiful image. What am I looking for? Where is it? I pass it up. It's Ted McKeever artwork. You know what I mean? That is stuff that like it somehow just speaks to me. I see this the same as with Bill Sienkiewicz. Bill Sienkiewicz Wolverine we were looking at the other day. You know, the stuff that is just out of the ordinary, that doesn't, you know, it gives me a feeling of surrealism or like I said, absurdity or abstraction. That's the stuff that like really has always just been what I kind of strive for with my own artwork, and what I like to pick up and read and look at, and you know. And the same with this Jill Thompson art, you know, is for as much as it's not quite the same sort of like abstraction and surrealism that you'll get from like this Duncan Fegredo back in the day, or Sean Phillips back in the day. Even though it's not really quite that level of an abstraction, she's got this. She does have like a real certainness to her art that, once you see her work, you'll never be able to not see it. You'll always be able to pick out stuff that she's done, where it's just got this. I mean, I can't explain what it is. Is it like a light touch, or I don't know. There's something about the way she's able to draw that just this is just so distinctive, and good. That's the thing too. Like this page in this alley is just so evocative, so moody, and but then it's goofy too. There's, if you look down in the trash can here, there's a copy of Home and Gardens and Batman cereal and pictures, like so many weird little details. There's like the rings to a six-pack, the plastic rings for a six-pack of beer or whatever, like just an amazing attention to detail with her just distinctive lines. And she does, she still does comics and artwork and whatnot, but she also, I saw an interview where she was talking about how she's designed costumes for different wrestlers, different professional wrestlers. She's designed their costumes. What I'm saying? Like, that's so bizarre. Like, I would never have looked at her artwork and thought, man, you know what I bet she'd be good at? I bet she would be really good if she designed a costume for the Edge from WWE. So bizarre, and yet so cool too. You know what I mean? Like, such a props to you, Jill Thompson. Keep doing your thing. And she was one of the artists in the Invisibles too that really, really gave that series, it's just set the tone for it, So anyways, that's what I got for today. Go check it out. I don't know if they've ever made a collection of the Black Orchid series. Usually, you can sometimes find different issues in back issue bins. Pick them up. If you see them, pick them up, That's my recommendation. And definitely, if you see Jill Thompson artwork on anything, pick it up. Pick up her run on the Sandman, the brief live storyline. Pick up that. Pick up Beasts of Burden by her. Pick up Scary Godmother. Whatever she's got, pick it up. If you're a wrestler, get Jill Thompson to design your outfit for you. All right, well that's what I got for today, kids. Be good to each other. Don't quit fighting. Don't be canceling each other. Quit all your crying about each other behind the scenes and all your learn fiction with Lee Child. No, thank you. No, thank you, Lee Child. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to take this one off my mix because this one has got. I'll leave it on there for now. I don't like these commercials. Maybe if I pay for YouTube, I think then I don't have commercials. But I ain't giving those people money. What are they gonna do with it? They're gonna spend it on drugs. That's what YouTube is gonna do. You give YouTube money. What are they spending it on? Drugs. No, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. I'm not giving you money to feed your filthy habits. Filthy YouTube. All right, kids, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Go read some comic books.